Hello web page development and design students. Welcome to tutorial number 11 where we're going to focus on margin and padding as we continue to style our Shears Design homepage. Leaving off last time, your website should look something like this, except at the bottom I realized as I closed the tutorial that I had a mistake. In my haste to finish coding, I actually had a space between this 200 and this pixels. And if you watch as I refresh this page and go back into design view, you can see now that my content div and my right side div are the way it should be. Now in this particular tutorial, we're going to go into our style sheet and you want to go past your reset button because we're going to start focusing on our headings, and you don't want to format your headings in your reset code because that will make your website not the way that you want it to be, but you want to focus down here under the headings tab. Remember, it's always good to put these comments in here and to organize your code in a way in which you understand. Now the first heading 1 I tabbed over a little bit earlier, and we're going to make some changes to it. One of the first changes that we're going to make is we're going to add our color to it. And the color that we are going to choose is this orange color. And then after that, I'm going to go down, we'll tab over. I'm going to make sure I tab everything the way that it should be and that they're aligned equally, just because that'll help me to follow my code. Is we're going to work on padding. Remember, padding, and we're going to do the bottom. Padding is the inside of an object, while margin is the outside of the object. And we're going to put 15 pixels of padding on the bottom, and then we're also going to put a border on the bottom, and that border that we're going to put there is 1 pixel. And we want it to be a gray color, which is this hashtag CCC. I'm going to actually make that capitalized, and it's solid. And then we're going to end that particular command, and then finally we're going to put a margin on the bottom, and you can see that margin will be 15 pixels. Now I'll go over into split view, and you can see, I'm going to refresh, but it's already refreshed and into design view, that all of our heading 1s are going to be formatted like this. We'll have this nice orange color with this little bit of padding in between and a little bit of margin, and this border that we'll use as kind of a break in between. Now the next thing that we're going to do is go back into code view, and I want to, if we go into split view and scroll over here to see this div, I want to just kind of adjust this a little bit, and I want to put, and it's really subtle, but I want to put some margin in there. For that one, I want to put some margin on the bottom of that, and I want it to be just a 5 pixel margin, and we'll refresh it, and you can see it just spreads it out a little bit, gives it a nice little margin on the bottom. Now those are all we're going to do for the headings, but I'd like to do something with the paragraph text. And first of all, I would like the color. I'd like to add a color, and I just want to make sure that all of my text is black. Black, you can never go wrong with using for a text color, just because it's very simple, it's easy to understand, and it's easy to read. The font size I'm going to keep is 12 pixels. This line height I'm going to keep it the same, and then I'm going to go underneath here. I want to start, I'm going to tab this over, and just so I can tab the same general place and start at the same point, I want to give it a margin on the text of 15 pixels, and that 15 pixels is on the top and the bottom. We can give a 0 for the left to right. That just kind of centers it. So if we look over here, you can see that it has this nice top and bottom margin, and if I scroll down here, you see that same top and bottom margin. So that is all I want to do for the paragraph text for right now. And then we're going to go down here and we're going to do some things to the footer. We're going to change the footer up just a little bit. Where we left off last time in the footer div, I'm going to have to scroll down just a little bit as we cleared both. But you know what? I want to put some margin on the top of the footer, and that margin, I want it to be, don't need 2 colons in there, 20 pixels. And then I also want to put a border on, let's see, where's my border? Keep my border, and then my border I want to put on the top of that, and so I want to put top in, and I just want it to be a 1 pixel border, and then I still want it to be gray. And I want it to be solid. And there, we refreshed it. And then I also want to put some padding on the bottom. And that padding I want to have is about 20 pixels. Okay. And refresh it, and then I'll probably have to scroll down and you can see. There seems to be a little bit of padding on the top and the bottom, not quite as much, and that's going to change as we do a couple of other things. But so in your footer, you want 20 pixels of margin on the top, that border of 1 pixel, which is right there, and then you also want to make sure that it's solid and it's that gray color, and that padding on the bottom should be about 20 pixels. Now the last thing that we're going to do today, which is a little out of order in your on your worksheet, but I need you to go to the computer file, and I want you to find my passouts file. So you'll go to, I apologize that my computer is running a little slow, high school, and then you'll go to my passouts. We're at Sittler and this web page development and design, Shears design files, and then you're going to go into this miscellaneous style sheet. And what you'll simply do is you will go to the bottom of it at the very bottom, and you're going to Control C it, go back into Dreamweaver, and you're going to go over to your basic CSS page, and you're going to paste that in the bottom. So what you want to do is you want to go through and you want to paste it in the bottom. So you can see I'm in my CSS code, and I at the bottom of the footer I'm going to paste my I'm going to paste my miscellaneous CSS at the bottom there. Now with our footer, we're going to continue to make a couple of changes with this footer text. We're going to take it and we're going to make that footer text 100%, and the font style is going to be normal. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to put one more command where we're going to text and we're going to align it, and that is going to be center. And then we're just going to end that, and we can go ahead and see that it automatically, with our miscellaneous styles that we styled a bunch of different things, it changes the footer text just a little bit. And you know what, I'm going to actually make that one more thing to that color. Instead of that 666, I'm going to make that black, refresh it, and you can see that that is a black footer text, excuse me, from that gray, that gray previously. Now, I do want to go into the code view, and I want you to actually go into the source code, and you need to make sure that in your div ID footer that you have this class where it's the paragraph class equals footer text, because what that does is that refers to that miscellaneous style sheet that we did right here where we adjusted that. Now, there's one more thing that we want to format in this tutorial before we end it, and that is we want to give it a date class where we put a period, date, and then we're going to use our curly brackets, and then we want to have the font weight equals bold, and then after that we want to make sure the color of the dates, because we're going to be changing those dates in that right hand div, and I'm just going to give you the color to type in. It's BF 6000, and then we want to put a margin on the bottom of 3 pixels just to give it a little bit of space but not too much. We're going to end our curly bracket. I'm going to go into split view, scroll over to the side, and you can see that it adjusted those dates. It made them all in color. It adjusted it with 3 pixels, which is not a lot of space, as well as, you know, formatting there. Now that is all that we have to format in this tutorial. Good luck.